Hello everybody, welcome to another Q&A meeting, which is a little bit late today. Sorry for the delay. If you have any questions, please submit them in one at a time. Please be brief and precise. Please let me know how the audio and video is doing. I will start reading your comment. Adeline Chin, good afternoon, Ajahn. Good afternoon to you. Metta Vandana, Sadhu. Deborah Rosenfeld, Sadhu. Kenneth Hunt, good morning, Tanajan. You are clear. Thank you. Adeline Chin, audio and video. Okay. Lien Lim, Sadhu, Sadhu. Suing Gan, Namaste. Kenneth Tan Kibak, greetings Ajahn, may you be well and happy. Audio and video is good, thank you. Hong Bi Chin. Viewing, thank you monk, nothing to add, but happy, monk well. Kim H. Chua, all good with video and audio. I think I will wait for your message to become more stable. It's moving up and down right now. Every time somebody sends in a message, it begins to move. So I have difficulty in trying to read your messages at this time. So maybe I'll wait until it becomes more stable. Hong Bi Chin, viewing, thank you mom. Okay, I read this. Ui Hua, Sadhu. Soante, Sadhu, Sadhu. Selena Chang. Sadhu, Sadhu. Question number 1 from Samanji, Sri Lanka. What is Paticca Samuppada? Could you explain? I think this is explained as dependent origination. It traces the path, how the mind works. Start with ignorant. Ignorant is the principal initiator of the mind's activities. Ignorance means not knowing where happiness is, not knowing how to stop dukkha. So it uses sankhara pati, which is the thought or mental volition, to seek for a solution by going to the consciousness which are connected to the sensual organs, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, in order for it to be able to receive the sensual objects, such as images, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects. Once there is contact, then there start to be feeling, good and bad feeling. With good and bad feeling comes cravings for being or not being, for good feeling or not, and not for bad feeling. With cravings come attachment to the objects that create those feelings. By being attached, the mind will then repeat this process by seeking more of the sensual objects it craves for, which is called power. And with power, there will be birth, aging, sickness, and death. When the body dies, then the mind will then go seek for a new body in order to continue this cycle of dependent origination. This is basically my take of what paticca samuppada means. Anicca, avijja paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya viññāna, viññāna paccaya ayatana, ayatana paccaya internal ayatana, from inner ayatana to outer ayatana, to contact, to feelings, to cravings, to attachment, to power, means to have more of it, to have more of the same thing. That means when there is death, then there will be birth in order to get more of the same thing again. Paticca, paccaya sankhara. Paccaya sankhara. Paccaya means condition. Anicca paccaya sankhara. Avijja, ignorant, condition, sankhara, into action. Sankhara, condition, consciousness into action. By connecting to the sensual organs, which can then receive the external sensual objects, the sensual objects, with contact when the eyes is in contact with the images, there arises feelings, and with feeling there arise cravings. With craving there arise attachment. With attachment there arise power, being, more of the same thing, being. And with being with being there is more birth or rebirth. When there's rebirth, there's aging, sickness, and death. So this is how the mind keeps doing this, continue this cycle of rebirth, due to its ignorance of the Four Noble Truths, how to solve the mind's own mental suffering. Payao, Satu, Satu. Akemi Amy Po, good afternoon, Ajahn. Tony L. Tran, may Tan Ajahn be well and happy, thank you. Jack Ling Tan, greeting dear Tan Ajahn, audio and video are clear. Question number 2 from Samanji. Paticca samuppada is usually described as a chain of 12 links, causes. Could you explain these 12 links? I've just did in the first question already. Start with Avijja. The link start with Avijja, then it continues until it gets to birth, aging, sickness, and death. Fanny Ong, hi Thanajan, happy to see Thanajan. Audio and video are clear, thank you. Tre Pue In, Satu Satu. Terence T.H. Lee, thanks for your Dhamma teaching. You're welcome. Alice Teng, good afternoon, Thanajan. Sochi Chim, Satu. Yulin Go, Satu. Metta Vandana. Is Ajahn feeling well? Yes, I'm okay. I just had a nap. So I came up late. I'm late today because I took the nap longer than normal. Maybe a little bit more tired nowadays, so I need more time to rest. Mandala Shi, so happy. The most happy moment of Sunday Dhamma teaching. You're welcome. So be Chim. Most people look down on persons learn Buddha Dhamma. It's okay. People like to look down on other people to satisfy their own ego, that's all. People want to think they are better than other people. And this is avijja or ignorant. And they can only cause themselves more suffering unknowingly. Deborah Rosenfeld, dear John, I went on a short driving vacation this week by myself into a peaceful and quiet place, driving now almost 4 hours. My head was full of papanja, but driving home, I drove mindfully the entire way with no effort whatsoever. How can I get more mindfulness at home in my daily life? It's frustrating that I can only get extended period of mindfulness when I go somewhere. Well, you need to be alone to really be able to develop mindfulness. If you're around people and things, you might become distracted easily. But you can try mindfulness at the start of the day. As soon as you get up, when you open up your eyes, you should start to focus either on a mantra or on what your body is doing. Whether your body is lying down, sitting, standing, walking, showering, taking a bath, or brush your teeth. Just keep focusing on this activity while you still can, because you are usually alone when you're doing this thing. So this is the best time to start doing mindfulness. But as soon as you become involved with people and things, then you will become distracted and lost your mindfulness. That's why people have to take retreat, meditation retreat, in order to be able to develop better mindfulness. Hi, good afternoon, Thanajan. In order to be liberated, we need to eliminate our craving and kilesa. After all the craving eliminated, we won't be reborn again. Can Thanajan kindly explain? Yes, it's your craving that drives your mind to go after things such as the sensual objects, because they might have sensual pleasure, craving for sensual pleasure, and this craving will never disappear by doing what it wants you to do. The only way to stop sensual pleasures craving is to stop going after sensual pleasures. Once you could stop, then there would be no driving force to drive your mind to go and take a new body when this old body dies. Because you don't need to have a body anymore when you don't have any cravings for sensual pleasures. Question number 3 from Samanji. Many Buddhists engage in meritorious deeds and expect in return a better life for them in their next birth or in this birth itself. Isn't this a craving? Yes, it is considered a craving. It will then keep them to be reborn again and again. But if they engage in meritorious deeds in order to stop rebirth, then this is not considered to be craving. It is considered to be the path to the cessation of cravings or to the cessation of sufferings. That is, if you engage in the 3 meritorious deeds that the Buddha tells us to do, which is dana, sila, and pavana. You have to do the 3 things. If you just do only one, the first 2, then you will still be reborn. You have to do the 3rd one, which is pavana, in order to stop your rebirth. But you need to do dana and sila in order for you to be able to do the 3rd one, which is pavana. So you have to do all 3 of them in order to stop your rebirth. Eli Hassan, good day,ท่านอาจารย์ Good day to you. Evin Lee Wei-Peng, good morning, ท่านอาจารย์ Thanks for your profound Dhamma teaching. Sadhu, sadhu. Yani Nguyen, sadhu, sadhu. Eni Lam, sadhu. Tony Yip, sadhu. Metta Vandana, Ajahn, what is sati? Sampachanya, continuous mindfulness. Sati is mindfulness. Sampachanya is continuous. When you have continuous mindfulness, you have sati sampachanya. Sochi Chim. Sometimes my mind is relieved after sitting meditation 30 minutes. After that, my mind complicated again. Sometimes mind relieves without doing meditation beforehand. Yes, because you don't have enough mindfulness to control your thoughts. If you have strong mindfulness, you can control your thoughts and keep your mind calm most of the time. Mudita, greetingท่านอาจารย์ I came across this teaching in a Dhamma book and it says the defilement itself is not dukkha, but the clinging to the defilement is dukkha. Will you please elaborate on this? Thank you. It means the defilement is the cause of dukkha. It is not dukkha itself. And when you do what your defilement wants you to do, then you're creating dukkha. When you have cravings, you're creating dukkha. When you have anger, you are creating dukkha. So you must not follow your defilement. When you have craving, just stop your craving. Don't do it. When you're angry, you have to stop your anger. Don't do it. That's what it means by clinging. Clinging is doing what your defilement wants you to do. Your defilement craves for sensual pleasure. You must not do it. Your defilement become angry. You must not be angry. You must stop your anger. So this is what it means. And it in itself is not dukkha. It is the cause of dukkha. Like the matches that started a fire. The match is not the fire, but the match is the one that started the fire. Bruce Lee, Alam Saya, Namaskaran, dear Ajahn. Hello to you. Tony Yip, dear Tanajan, good afternoon. I have a question. Is it regret is unwholesome karma? Hope Tanajan can advise above now. Thank you. Regret is depend on how you look at it. It can cause you suffering. Then it become unwholesome. But it can also be wholesome if we use it in a rational way. When you regret, it means you are sorry for something that you did wrong. So you can use this regret to remind yourself not to repeat the same mistake again. Then this is considered to be good karma or wholesome karma. But if you regret and you feel bad and not doing anything, but just keep feeling bad, then this is unwholesome karma. Ong Ray, Satu Satu, Shio Hisham, greetings to Tanajan. May Tanajan have a great weekend. Thank you. Suchit Chim, Satu, Patsy Chung, Satu, Tichaya Lila, Satu, NGI King, good afternoon Tanajan. Long Lin, Satu, Satu, Chinese character, Satu, Satu. Question number 4. The ultimate goal of Buddhism is attaining nirvana. So is it proper for Buddhists to expect or wish for any material benefit or comfort, such as a better job, more wealth, good health, good marriage, in return by making an offering to an arahant or by engaging in 10 meritorious deeds mentioned in Buddha? Well, see, if you practice completely the teaching of the Buddha, you will get to the ultimate goal of Nibbana. But if you only practice partially, you get partial results. That's what it is. So if you only practice sila, morality, or keeping the 5 precepts, and practice charity, the consequence of these 2 practices will give you birth in heaven. And when you come back as a human again, you'll come back richer than you are now. So, whether you like it or not, this is what happens. And some people just still want to return and live on this earth. They forget that being born, they will get old, get sick, and die. They only think of the good thing that they could do if they become rich. So a lot of people will only practice partially the teaching of the Buddha, usually practicing keeping the 5 precepts and practice charity. By doing this, they have a happy mind, and when they die, the mind goes to heaven. And after it has expired the merit, it returns and reborn as a human being again, and being a rich or wealthy human being due to the dana or the charity and the precept that it kept. But if you practice the 3rd one, which is the pavana, then you will be able not to return. You will reach nibbana. So it's up to you. It's like a menu in the restaurant. You can choose the food you want to eat, how much food you want to have. If you want to have the complete course, then you will get the ultimate result of Buddhism. But if you only want to practice partially, only some part of the Buddha's teaching, then you get some other result instead of Nibbana. Liberty Lee, Pante. My parents always pressure me to have children. They are Christian, much clings and attachment. They have kind advice. Well, it's you who's gonna have the children, not them. So it's your choice whether to have them or not. They cannot force you to have children. So if you find that having children is not good for you, then you don't do it. That's all. It's not considered to be unkind or ungrateful to your parents. Your parents has no business in dictating how you should live, what you should have. It, they can teach you, but you don't have to follow their teaching. If you find it's against the Buddha's teaching. Sochi Chim, Satu Satu. Claudia, Shrina, good morning from Germany, Ajahn. Thank you for your teaching. You're welcome. Payal, Ajahn, I follow Ajahn advice to recite Putto all the time. Last night when I started to do light meditation, I found that I feel like I fall down from high place and my mind becomes calm and quiet. But after some time, thought comes in. Is this correct way of meditation and how to increase the calm and quiet of the mind? Thank you very much. Yes, this is the correct way. When your mind becomes calm, sometimes it feels like falling down from a high place, and then it becomes calm and quiet. But it might remain calm and quiet briefly because the strength of your mindfulness is not strong enough to 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 make it last longer. So what you should do when your mind starts to think, you should start recite the mantra Putto Putto again. Then you might be able to get the mind back into calm and peace again, calm and quiet again. So the key here is to recite the mantra. Try to recite the mantra when your mind start to be start to think. Then you want to stop your thinking by reciting a mantra. And when you can stop thinking, your mind can become calm and quiet again. Matt Grusen, Satu Satu. Question number 5 from Samanji. The first path, the Noble Eightfold Path, is Sammatiti, the right view. Could you explain the exact meaning of Sammatiti as described in the teaching of the Buddha? How crucial is it having the right view in the process of developing the other 7 path factors? Well, the first factor is very important because right view means to know the Four Noble Truths. This is the right view. To see that our suffering are caused by our cravings. So once we know this, in order for us to stop our craving, we have to develop the Noble Eightfold Path. So when we have this, we have the first factor of the Noble Eightfold Path, which will then start to initiate the other factor to come into place. If you know that your rebirth is caused by your cravings, your suffering is caused by your cravings, then you have to stop your cravings. And the thing that can stop your craving is the practice of the Noble Eightfold Path, or the remaining 7 factors. The second is to continually think of stopping your cravings, stopping your bad karma, because your bad karma and your cravings are the cause of your mental suffering. Once you have the second factor, to think of stopping your cravings, to develop the other path factor, then you develop the third one, which is right action, and the fourth one, right speech, and the fifth one, right livelihood. Then the next one, the sixth one, right exertion. The seventh, right mindfulness, and the eighth, right meditation, and right concentration. So once you have the first one, then then the other will follow suit. And to have samadhi in Buddhism is to know the Four Noble Truths, to see everything, all our suffering, all our endless rebirth, our aging, sickness, and death are caused by our cravings. And the things to stop this is the path, the Noble Eightfold Path. Chak Bui Lo Satu Satu. Mudita, does that mean if I have a defilement and don't do it, cling to it, then the dukkha will not arise? Is this a correct understanding? Yes. Like if you want to watch TV and watch YouTube, if you can stop your craving for watching, then your suffering will disappear. If you keep it continue, then you will start to create bad feelings for you. When you want something and you cannot get what you want, you will start to feeling bad. But as soon as you change your mind and say, okay, I don't want this thing, then the bad feeling arising from your desire will disappear. So yes, you have to stop all of your cravings, all of your desire, all of your greed, all of your want and expectation, because they're the one that cause you to have suffering or bad feelings. Metta Vandana, can Ajahn explain how to practice Bhavana? Bhavana is the practice of meditation and developing of wisdom. First, you practice the practice of samadhi. Bhavana has two parts. The first one is the practice of samadhi. The second one is the development of wisdom, or vipassana. So you have to practice the first one first by developing mindfulness to stop your thoughts. When you have strong mindfulness, you can stop your thought and cause your mind to become peaceful and calm. This is called samadhi. Once you have samadhi, when you're not meditating, then you teach your mind the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. Then you will have wisdom. With these two, you will be able to get rid of all your defilements and the consequence, which is rebirth. Yohanali, good afternoon, Tanaja. In Buddha's time, many people became enlightened after listening to Buddha's teaching. According to Tanaja, in this modern time, what mental quality should we have to be enlightened by listening to Dhamma teaching? You have to have equanimity, you have to have strong mindfulness, you have to have jhana, and you have to have the ability to think rationally, cause and effect. If you have these two things, then you can become enlightened as soon as you heard the Four Noble Truths. Payal, thank you very much, Ajahn, for clear explanation. You're welcome. Question number 6 from Samanji. Please explain the concept of non-attachment in Buddhism and how it helps to lead a happy life while still being faithful to social commitment, family life, office work, education, etc. Attachment or clinging means you don't cling or attach to things that will one day be separate from you. Everything is anicca, everything is temporary. So when you cling to something, and when that something has to be separated from you, you will become sad. So you can have things, but you have to be ready to let go when the time comes, such as your body. Your body is anicca, one day it will have to die. If you cling and you have craving for the body to exist forever. Then when the body dies, you will have a lot of suffering. But if you know that the body is temporary and that one day it will have to die, and so you don't cling or attach to the body when the time comes. When it's not yet the time for the body to go, you can still have it, but you have to have it with the thought in mind that you have to let go when the time comes. That's what it means by not having attachment. You can still have what you already have, but you have to tell yourself that this what you have one day you will not have it. And when that time comes, if you don't want to have any sadness or suffering, then you have to let go. Be willing to let it go. Okay, we have a question from another person, also from Sri Lanka, called Bhikkhuni Pasada. Question number 1, in meditation, I experience a state which is like a blackout, like sleep with no awareness and no dream. When I come out of it, I have absolutely no memory of what was. Body is very relaxed, and it doesn't feel as if I had been sleeping. It can last short or up to 30 minutes. What is this? To me, it feels like a waste of time because there is no awareness, totally unconscious. Yes, because you were sleeping. That's why. If you are fully aware, then it's called samadhi. If it is samadhi, you should have ubekha left after you come out of your meditation. Your mind will still feel refreshed, still feel peaceful, and have equanimity. If you don't have anything after you come out of your 30 minutes of nothing, then it means you went to sleep. So you have to practice more mindfulness to keep the mind to remain aware when the mind becomes calm. With weak mindfulness, when the mind starts to become calm, the mindfulness also disappears. And instead of entering into samadhi, you enter into sleep instead. Mudita, your teaching is very clear. Thanks, Tanatan, so much. You're welcome. Haven't seen you for a while. How are you, Mudita? I hope you are well. Question number 2 from Bhikkhuni Pasada. What is the difference between avijja as meant in Paticca Samuppada and moha as one of the 3 unwholesome roots? They are the same thing. Avijja means not knowing the Four Noble Truths, not knowing what caused your mind to have suffering, which are the cravings. Moha is to be deluded, to be deluded to see that you can have happiness or get rid of your suffering by doing what your craving asks you to do. This is called moha or delusion. To think that in order for your mind to be happy or get rid of your dukkha, you have to do what your cravings want you to do. But this is delusion, because if you do what your craving asks you to do, you get more dukkha, not less dukkha. So more or less the two are the same thing. Not knowing the Four Noble Truths, not knowing that doing what your defilement wants you to do will create more dukkha, not getting rid of your dukkha. Sally Tan, Satu Satu. Chiao Chan, Ajahn, how to destroy form besides practicing asupa, contemplation. You cannot destroy form, but you can destroy your attachment to form by seeing that all forms are anicca, impermanent. Once you see that they are impermanent and they can cause you dukkha, then you will start clinging to them or desiring for them. Michael Saw, Satu Satu, Christine Coe, Satu. Okay, question number 3 from Bhikkhuni Pasada. An anagami is left with 5 fetters, including avijja. Would it be correct to say that actually it's left with avijja and that the other 4 fetters are manifestation of avijja? You can say that. They usually come in a group together. Like each level, like the first level, they come in 3. The first 3 fetters they come in as a team, and then the second or third level comes with 2: sexual desire and feeling of ill will. Even you get rid of one, the other will also disappear. And the last 5 fetters come in a group of 5. If you can get rid of avijja, then you get rid of everything else. Because avijja means you still don't see the 3 characteristics of existence in everything. You only saw the 3 characteristics in the body and the external sensual objects, but you don't see that avijja, that you don't see anicca, anatta in the mind itself. Once you see anicca in the things that appears in the mind, then you let go of your attachment. Then you have completely get rid of your avijja. Mudita, I am physically good. Thanks so much. I try to practice mindfulness. I use death as my meditating object. Sometimes I will hear my breath along with my heartbeat. I am a bit confused about which focus because I focus on all 3 of them. You should only focus on one when you meditate, on your breath only. Don't think about your death or your heartbeat. Just keep focus on one, on your breath. Anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing in and breathing out. You handling Ajahn, to have paticca samuppada in panchakanda. Does it mean to see the cause and effect and correlationship between all those khandas? Like, for example, relation between thinking and feeling, thinking and memory. In paticca samuppada, all you want to see is that your cravings and your attachment. When you have cravings, when you have feelings, good or bad feelings, you start to have cravings. Then you have to stop your cravings for those particular feelings. Good feelings, you have attachment but with attraction. Bad feeling, you have attachment by aversion. So you have to stop your attraction and aversion toward good and bad feelings. That's what you do when you practice. Not to react to your good and bad feelings. Just leave the feelings alone. Let them come and go alone. Sunny Lim, good day Ajahn, and thanks for your teaching us the Dhamma. You're welcome. Yapto Yap, Namaste Ajahn. What is the difference when we meditate and enter into a calm state, like floating in outer space. And when we meditate and enter a calm state, like there is a bright light. There is no difference. Sometimes you can have the feeling of floating in space, and sometimes you can have bright light when the mind becomes calm. But don't be attached to them. Just know that they are just mental phenomena that comes and goes, and something that you cannot attach to or control. Then sometimes they appear and sometimes they don't appear. The goal of meditation is to calm the mind and enter into emptiness. Chi Chin Chun, dear Bante, can I chant my breath and in and full breath out when meditating and daily life to be mindful? What about the word aware or alert? I think you can use any word you like. The goal is to stop thinking, so you have to see which one works for you. If you chant mind and then you don't think about other things, then you can do that. But if you chant mind and you still continue to think about this and that, then this is not right, not good. The goal is to stop thinking, so you can use anything that you find useful for you that can stop your mind from thinking. Deborah Rosenfeld, dear Ajahn, I am unable to feel my breath in my nose. Where do you recommend focusing on my breathing? On your chest, on your abdomen. You can focus watching your breath at your abdomen. When you breathe in, your abdomen will expand. When you breathe out, your abdomen will collapse. So watching the expand and collapsing of the abdomen as your point of focus. Question number 1 from Philip Yu from Singapore. What is the process steps for meditation practice to realize the truth liberation? The first step is to practice mindfulness. You have to stop your mind from thinking by focusing your mind on one object, such as a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto. You have to do this all day long. As soon as you wake up, you have to start reciting the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, in order for your mind to stop thinking. If your mind still keeps thinking, you have to keep reciting Bhutto. Only stop when your mind stops thinking. Another way to have mindfulness is to focus on your body movement and activity. Keep watching every movement of your body, every posture of your body. Focus on the movement of the body and the action of the body, not allowing your mind to go think about any other thing. Once you have this mindfulness, then when you meditate, you sit down, close your eyes, and watch your breath at the tip of your nose, breathing in and breathing out. Just watch the breath coming in and out at the tip of your nose until your mind becomes calm and peaceful. Kwan Liman, dear Ajahn, with respect, does the Anagami use Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta as the tool to contemplate on the last 5 fetters to finally see the emptiness in the emptiness? Yes, every level of wisdom development, you need to use the Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta on the object that the mind still attached to. Johanna Lee, thank you, Ajahn. I will have to be non-reactive to either bad feeling or good feeling. That's right. Just you need to have strong equanimity. So you have to practice a lot of meditation and mindfulness in order for you to have equanimity. Once you have equanimity, then you can teach the mind not to react to good or bad feeling. Question number 2 from Philip Yeo from Singapore. Is getting samadhi, peace and calm sufficient? Will wisdom arise by its own? No, not sufficient. If you want to become fully enlightened, samadhi can only keep your mind calm when you are in samadhi. But once you come out of samadhi, your mind can start to become agitated and restless. Then you need to use wisdom to calm your mind, to teach your mind not to react to things, because everything is not under your control. Everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is wisdom. Teach your mind to see things as they are and not react to them, either by love, hate, or fear. Okay. I have done 50 minutes of reading your question and answering your question. So we have another 9 minutes left before I have to close this meeting. So if you still have any more questions, please send them in. Hendrayani Sen, Namo Buddhaya Ajahn. Question from Aydin Ramtien from Iran. Ramtin from Iran. Aydin Ramtin from Iran. Question. Respected teacher, I am a beginner practitioner of the path, and I want to practice the precious concept of emptiness. Please guide me. Thank you for your kindness. In order for you to get to emptiness, you have to stop your mind from thinking. And the way to stop your mind from thinking is to concentrate your mind on one object, such as a mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto, or focus on what your body is doing. If you're still moving around, if you're still doing things, you want to keep developing mindfulness to stop your mind from thinking with focus on your body movement or with the mantra Bhutto, Bhutto. And when you have nothing else to do and you sit, then you focus on your breath at the tip of your nose to stop your mind from thinking. Just keep watching. If you watch your breath, you cannot think about other things. If you think about other things, it means you're not watching your breath. So keep watching your breath when you meditate. And when your mind becomes totally still, when it completely stops thinking, your mind will become still and empty. And you'll find peace and happiness from this emptiness. Metta Vandana, thank you for your teaching, Ajahn. Please stay well and healthy. Thank you. Johanna Lee, thank you, Ajahn. I will keep practicing meditation and mindfulness from now on to get into equanimity. Your wisdom has helped me out of confusion. Now it's up to me to put everything into practice. That's right. Start with mindfulness. As soon as you open up your eyes in the morning, start reciting mantra or watch your body. Where is your body now? Lying down, sitting, walking, standing, doing things. Or keep reciting the mantra. Don't let your mind go thinking about other things. You have to stop thinking in order for your mind to become peaceful and calm and have equanimity. Christine Goe, wish Ajahn strong health and long life. Thank you. Okay, there's still about 5 more minutes left. If you still have more questions, you can still send it in right now. I'm sorry for coming late today, but this might happen from time to time because sometimes I took a nap and maybe I took it too longer than I should. But sometimes the body just feel a little tired and it needs more rest. So be patient and please allow me the flexibility of coming into this meeting. But if I have no other engagement or other obstruction, I will try to be here, even though I might be late. So please be patient and wait if I don't come on time like I used to. But I'll try to come. Unless I'm not able to, then I won't be able to. Usually, if I know that I won't be able to, I will have it announced beforehand. If I didn't announce beforehand, it means I have the intention of coming, but I might be a little bit late. So bear with me on this. Thank you. Dear Brother Rosenfeld, how can you plan for the future if you are just being mindful? Well, when you practice mindfulness, you don't plan for the future. You don't need to plan for the future all the time. You can plan for the future when you're not practicing mindfulness. When you have to think, then you can suspend your practice of mindfulness temporarily and plan and do whatever planning you want to do. Once you have finished planning, then you can then stop planning, and then come back and continue with your mindfulness practice. Deborah Rosenfeld, or decide you need to change something in your life rather than just accept it. Well, you can do this also while you practice mindfulness. It doesn't mean that you cannot think at all, but ideally you don't want to think about things that you don't need to think about. That's all. Only think about what you have to think or need to think. But when you don't have to think, then don't let your mind fantasize or imagine about this and that thing. Stop this imagination. Stop this fantasizing. But if you have to think seriously, then you can think. It doesn't mean you don't think at all. But when you go to a retreat, then there's no need to do any planning, or thinking about anything. Then you want to stop all thinking as much as possible, because in order for you to succeed in your meditation, you have to be able to stop thinking completely for a while. Not all the time. Only when you meditate. Enilam Satu Satu. Mudita, no worries. Tanajan, your health is the most important for us all. We will always be patient. Thank you. Pasana Chunasebe, thank you very much for your kindness and your Dhamma for all of us. Christine Koye, we should be thankful to you, as we not pay a single cent for your teaching instead of blaming late. Deba Rosenfeld, thank you so much for your wisdom. You're welcome. Shio Hishang, thank you Tanajan for your teaching. Tanajan, please don't worry about the time. We can wait for you. We want Tanajan to have a good health so that Tanajan can teach us longer. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, I think that's about it for today. I don't see any more comments or questions coming in. One more comment from Penny Ong. Thank you for teaching today. Wish Najan always be happy and healthy. The same to you. Thank you. Claudia Schwiener, I totally agree with you. Christine Goye. Okay. Wan Batum Napa, thank you very much for Q&A teaching Kenneth Tan Kiba. Satu. Alright, that's about it for today. Thank you very much for your participation in this Dhamma meeting. I hope it can benefit you or has benefited you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on continuing practicing your mindfulness and wisdom practices. And if all goes well, I'll see you all again at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.